was halftime. And halftime is the best. If you want to know exactly where the American culture is, at that point in time, at that year, you watch the Super Bowl at halftime. It is unbelievable. It has gotten exponentially worse in my lifetime. I use the word exponentially because I learned it in a math class. And that's the first sentence I've ever fucking been able to use it in. By exponentially, I mean shittier and shittier and shittier. And this year didn't let me down at all because it was the shittiest. It was brought to you by MTV. Because when I think music, well, yeah, I think MTV. The people who during my lifetime have done everything they can to destroy music. Well, then I'll continue for those of you who didn't applaud. Just to prove my point. MTV is not music. Music is a wonderful thing. It's like a drug, really. It's played and it goes in our ear, and we get a vision. MTV is a video, and that goes where? In your eye. This is an eye, ear. There's a big fuck difference. And if you get a vision in your head after you listen to some music, and you go home and turn on MTV, and the video they show is the vision you had, kill yourself. You're better off coming back as a lobster. So who did MTV get to play at halftime? They got NSYNC. Because when I think football, I think NSYNC. Unlike most Americans, I'd never heard NSYNC. Because usually when they come on, I like to take a pencil and shove it in my ear. And so then, they bring on who? Aerosmith. They now have NSYNC and Aerosmith. Now I'm really fucked up. How did they decide on NSYNC and Aerosmith? Where did that decision come from? One MTV executive turned to another and said, who should we get at halftime at the Super Bowl? And then he took a shovel and whacked the guy across the head. And then he said, well, NSYNC and Aerosmith. When they were playing together, it wasn't music. It was the sound of chaos. It was unbelievable. I knew it was chaos because you could hear pigs being slaughtered. Women were weeping and men were gnashing their teeth. And there were sounds so hideous, I cannot describe them to you or you will flee from the room. It was unbelievable. NSYNC and Aerosmith would have been enough, but no. They were joined by Britney Spears. Now I've got NSYNC, Aerosmith, and Britney Spears. I have a trifecta from hell. But I was lucky. I had a spoon in my hand. And I shoved it up my ass. Why, you might ask? To distract myself from the pain. Because if I'm going to hurt that much, I'm going to do it to myself. And you know what we call that? Empowerment.